Life is all about two things, my fellow nasties. Getting paid and getting into a very lit club where they play movies on a huge screen and you can order like $12 popcorn and a $303 drinkosaurus. Anyway, sorry to lose control of my emotions. You see, I was just at this club called AMC and I wanted to see Star Wars: The Rise of Freak-Leaking Skywalker, and the girl working the counter said, "Nasty Jack, I tell you this every week, the next Star Wars movie doesn't come out for another Ratatouille month." So instead I had to see that new Charlie's Angels movie and it was fantastic. Anyway, here is the next chapter. I hope you are enjoying my story 2069. You are? Nice. Chapter 4, Jonathan Cena. I was blown away standing next to the late great Jonathan Big Mac Cena. He was my hero. Oh. Well, I mean, not really, but you know, when like someone sees a celeb and they say, "Yo, you are my hero," and it's like, bruh, Bill Hader is not your hero. Anyway, I held out my hand and said, "Hello, Johnny Cena, my name is." But he held up his hand for me to stop talking. "I know who you are, Nasty Jack." He smiled. "Oh, I am so honored, but Mr. Big Buff Billy, how did you know who the freak-a-leaking heck he was?" Johnny the Wongy looked at me. "Nasty Jack, you were famously frozen." Sethi the Big Wet Popsicle and Tony Clock O'Rock suddenly looked really worried. Sethi spoke up. "Well, maybe we don't need to tell him that right now, Mr. Cena." I suddenly could feel my blood boil and gave John Cena a stern stare. What the flap are these two talking about? John Cena gazed into my doughy eyes and looked back at them idiot 1 and 2. John Cena put his hand on my shoulder. "Follow me." He turned around and went towards a booth in the corner of the room. He looked around suspiciously and then farted and said out loud, "Big gas from all my sass." I looked at him very confused. He whispered, "It's the password this month." Suddenly the booth benches slid backward to reveal a flight of steps descending into a dark room. "Come on, Nasty, follow me." We entered a dark room and suddenly the booth entrance above us shut and lights turned on to reveal a very cool lab that looked like it was also part of someone's bedroom. There was a bed in the corner, John Cena posters on the wall. A very dirty couch and video game controllers scattered on the floor. John Cena typed in a password on his very cool hologram computer. "Windows 11 is pretty buck wild," John Cena said to me. He must have heard me say "wow, that's a dank computer" out loud. Whoops. Ha ha. By the way, this is my bedroom. Since decarbonation is outlawed unless authorized by the KFC, I must stay out of sight a lot. "Well, you mean that chicken place?" "No," said Jim John. KFC stands for Kentucky Fried Carbonite, that's the government-run Carbonite division. They got a little too cute with their name if you ask me. "Wait, you are illegally unfrozen?" "Yes," said John Cena. "There have only been 2 people to ever be authorized by the KFC to unfreeze someone. That was you and Mike Myers so he could play Shrek for Shrek 9. "Yeah, oh yeah," I said to Cena the boy champ. He looked at me and turned to his hologram computer and a video appeared on the screen. "Watch this." He spun the hologram around to me, and I stepped 3 centimeters closer to it so I could see it better. The video started and I could tell by the word news that it was a news station piece. "Hello, my name is Deborah Molasses with Channel 4 News. Today is April 20th, 2019. We go live to a ceremony downtown where we see the mayor handing out the greatest detective in the world award to local hero and heartthrob Nasty Jack. The news segment cut to a live view of the downtown GameStop store as the mayor gave me my award in front of a dummy thick crowd. Suddenly, my head started hurting. It was all coming back to me. I remember this day. Something happened on this day. Something wacky and tacky and kind of backmacky. I held my head in pain and dropped to the floor and then sharted. John Cena turned off the hologram presentation and helped me stand up and then tried to have me sit on his dirty couch, but I was like, "Bruh, I ain't sitting on that freak-a-leaking couch." "Are you okay?" Cena said to me. "That's the day they froze me, right?" I looked up at the young boy wrestler. John Cena looked down on the ground in sadness. "Yes." It was on my favorite holiday. As I stood there dizzy from my head pain and gassy from my gas, I still couldn't remember the whole day, but I remember receiving the award from the mayor. I was focusing so hard on trying to remember that I didn't even realize Mr. Cena had begun reciting the entire script of the B movie out loud. John Cena put his hand on my shoulder and it brought me out of the trance I was in. We should probably get back upstairs. Sethi the big-time wet king and Tony the clockman clock are already gonna be pretty pissed off at me. As we went back up from the way we entered, I was more confused on the way up the stairs than I was going down them. Why was I frozen? Why was John Cena unfrozen before me? And why was that couch so dirty? We returned back to Megadork and Tony Clock. Seth gave John Cena 3 out of 10 glare and said, "John Cena, you better not have told him about why the government froze him." John Cena rolled his eyes. "I wouldn't break the law, dorkhead, but I did tell him some things. He has the right to know, it's his past." Seth the big-time sad boy was like, "Yeah, I understand. He does deserve to know about his past." I spoke up, "So you will tell me why I was frozen?" "Absolutely not, bruh," Seth said. "If I tell you, I will legit get murdered by some sleazeball government agent in like 0.4 seconds, you'll learn eventually, but today is not that day. Today is about Pokemon Master Trainer Red Box Edition." "Did you tell him the information you know, John Cena?" John Cena looked at me, "Haha, whoops, that was like the one thing y'all asked me to do." He leaned into the group. "I was near the museum the day the Pokemon Master Trainer Red Box Edition went missing." I leaned closer to him, "And did you see who it was?" "Nah, sorry my guy. I was there like 23 hours before it happened. It was pretty much the day before." "Wait," said Seth, "I thought you said you had a big dummy medium-sized clue for us." "No, I was just lonely," said John Cena. "Anyway, I must get back to my dishwashing job." And Jonathan Cena was out of sight. Sethi looked at me and was just about to begin speaking when the bar door flew open and a hooded figure stepped into the bar. He spoke with the scruffy Duffy voice. "I'm looking for Nasty Jack." Ad break. Howdy my nasties. I hope you are having a good evening, day, night, or weekend. I had a very good time this week farting the alphabet during my Thanksgiving dinner, as I always do. This week's sponsor is none other than Burger King. Do you like diarrhea? Do you sometimes want to poop but don't have any laxatives lying around? Well then, my guy, you need some good dank fresh Burger King. Get a checky Sam or some checky tenders, and no joke, in the matter of like 94 seconds you will have the biggest shart in your life. If it wasn't for BK, we wouldn't even be here right now. Anyway, go into your local Burger King and pull down your pants and say, "I'm a nasty." And you will get kicked out and sent to jail, and 3% off your entire meal. Wow, what a slamming deal. Now here is my Nasty Jack nasty tip of the nasty week: never ever tell your mama that you hate her, she will be sad. Oh. Now let's get back to my good time story. I stepped into the middle of the bar and stared at the hooded figure's shadowy head. "Hello, I am Nasty Jack," I said to the dark shadowy man, boy, child dude. He stepped onto the light and a man in his 30s appeared under the glow. However, the face looked familiarly. How did I know this face? "So it really is you?" the 30-year-old said to me. Suddenly I realized who it was. "Son?" The man smiled. "Yeah, it's me, Dad." I reached my arms out and hugged my dude so tight. I honestly have been so wrapped up in the future and this crazy mystery that I forgot I even had a son. "It's me, Dad, it's Nasty Mac." "I know, son. I know." Nasty Mac, Sethi the Fartzel King, Tony Clocky Clock and myself grabbed a nearby booth. It was nice to catch up with my bigger lay kid. He told me about his life so far. How he got rejected by a girl at prom and he cried for the next 3 days. How he went to college to become a doctor but settled with dropping out and becoming a full-time McDonald's manager. How he farted like his old man and could stink up and clear a room in the matter of 3.2 seconds. Wow, I am so proud. We slammed a couple drinks. I had a Jack and Coke, a Bud Light, a Rolling Rock, a Budweiser, a water, a tequila shot, a vodka LaCroix, a tall glass of chalky milk, a plate of spaghetti, 2 drips of red wine, and a handful of nacho chips. Sethi the fun time ruiner looked at his watch. We've been here for almost 14 minutes. Shouldn't we head out? It's getting late. I rolled my eyes. Sure, Seth. 'Cause it's way past your bedtime. I glanced at the clock and noticed it was 8:32 p.m. As we stood up to leave the bar, I walked past the bar manager, who turned around to me. Wow, I can't believe it's Nasty the Jack. Can I have your autograph? Ugh, sure brother. I said to him. He held out a piece of paper for me to sign. But there was already a note on it. I looked closely at the words scribbled on the piece of paper. It just said 3 simple words. He is here.